Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Heine House Gaming and Tech Podcast. I'm your good friend, Jason Heine, hanging out with you for the next hour or so. So good to see you. Hello. Welcome. Possible good news about my schedule changing, possibly for the better. But as you may have noticed, I'm releasing this on Thursday. And I feel like I may have to transition to Thursdays for a little while. My work schedule, long story short, so usually I'm able to do some of my podcast production, as in putting together my notes while I'm at work during some lunches and breaks. But man, they have us doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and I'm in fact not able to spend that time doing that anymore. So it's looking like I may have to transition a podcast to release it on Thursday, which it is today. It is August 13th, 2020, 8:36 in the morning, Thursday. So I'll be releasing this later on. So look for the podcast for Thursday afternoon-ish for a little while, but still, it's only a few days late, but it'll be totally fine. And then last update on that before I jump into the episode is that my schedule might be changing. I don't know just yet. There's some rumors that we might get some 410s back in my life, which would really, really be awesome. That would give me an extra whole day to actually do things. And also, I would be able to stay up and see Steph more and stream more and do that. So that would be great. So we'll see what happens. It's rumored, and I don't believe anything until it actually happens, of course. So we will see. But from there, that's what we've got. Hey, shout out to all of the amazing and awesome support. See if I can get my soundboard to work. Is my Mac sleeping? Sure is. Thank you, folks. Everyone on the ground floor, main floor, and game loft tiers on Patreon. Visit my website, heinehouse.com, if you want to check that out. There's a link at the very top left of your page. It just says Patreon. You click it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. This week, I, in fact, did a car vlog on my way home for patrons. Everyone gets that from the main floor and above, which is great. I talked for about 25 or so minutes about stuff that I'm thinking of doing and fine-tuning and cutting the fat around some of my content and tightening things up. And a lot of great stuff in store for the future. I feel like the first 10 years of my life, and again, I summarize that on my episode, my 10-year retrospective episode, which people really, really enjoyed. And I'm looking to the next 10 years. And, the first 10 years were like, the plan was to do this, and then it evolved into this and this. And then now I'm really trying to fine-tune the next 10. So I'm really thinking hard about that, which is it's just awesome. Like it feels good to actually be thinking in those terms in that way. So we're gonna continue on, and we're going to hop right into the episode. I have some gaming news to talk about. I have I think one small tech article, and then we're gonna change gears in the tech section. I actually have now. We talk about people who are scamming, phishing, spelled with a P. Of course, on the online, people try to phish and get your data, your info, to do malicious things. Something that has happened recently, and in fact, it's starting to blow up for me right now, is I have people on Facebook Messenger trying to scam me, and it's happening actually almost daily. And I've had 3 in the past 24 hours come through, and I'm getting anywhere between 10 to 15 friend requests on Facebook. And a lot of them are fake spam and scam accounts. And I know this, and I've been accepting the friend request. And in fact, I'm trying to learn more about why, or not why, but in which way they're scamming. Cause we'll talk about it in tech. I'm going to jump into the iPad. We're going to jump right into Messenger, and then we're going to look at the scam, and I'm going to read it out, and you're going to see the text conversation about how they're trying to get my data, what they're asking. These are things that I'm hoping will educate you and put you in a position to where you will be more vigilant, and you will be better educated to then help you yourself or others who may be in a similar situation and not know exactly what's going on. So anyway, that's going to be later in tech. It's going to be really cool. This is the first time I'm doing it. In fact, I'm probably going to chop I'll probably chop the episode at that point and make a separate YouTube video and upload that showing this, because I think it's that important to actually showcase the scamming and the phishing and that stuff going on, because we have a whole new era of scammers who are using not just like pop-ups and you click it and you have to call a number and then, unsuspecting people call and give their data. That's the old way, which they still are doing and making millions doing currently. But we have a new way, and that's on Facebook Messenger or other social media platforms. They kind of go hand in hand. It's really exciting. I'm excited to share it, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, sound good? Let's jump into some random news. We have some more unfortunate news for food, and we try to talk a little bit about food here. We have some more COVID closures, I called it. It's really sad, actually. Dunkin Donuts, America runs on Duncan is their slogan, but unfortunately, they're closing a whole bunch of stores. Dunkin is permanently closing 8% of it. Now, that may seem small. 8% of its United States location, which amounts to roughly 800 restaurants. So think about that. I know it's only 8%, but 800 restaurants, people are losing their job there. That's really, really sad. On top of millions and millions and millions of people around the world losing their job. This is just another hit. The company announced the changes in its second quarter earnings they released last Thursday. Duncan described the closures as, quote, real estate portfolio rationalization. Oh my God. Rationalization. Can I not? Rationalization. I can't fucking say that word. You know how long it took me to say literally? When I was a kid, I could not, actually, here's a little funny thing. When I was a kid, I could not pronounce L's for whatever reason. I just could not pronounce L's. And you guys know I kind of talk with whatever you want to say. I just kind of have my slang and my way of saying things all fucked up. But I couldn't say my L's. And so like my mom enrolled me in a speech, whatever it was, speech therapy or learning or special learning assistant or whatever the fuck it was called. And she tried to get me to say my L's. Like when I would say lemon, I'd just basically say like women. Right? So I could never say my L's, which is really funny. And I since been able to fix that. But you have some words you can't say. Okay, anyway, fuck it. So anyway, Dunkin is closing 800 stores, and that's shitty. Okay, that is shitty. Not that, what? I think Dunkin in like the 80s and 90s has been amazing. They always were really, really good. Not that they've gone off the deep end here, but I don't know that they've modernized enough. I don't know that they've been able to keep up with the current climate in the coffee world. Coffee, donuts. I mean, what is it? I mean, I would much rather go to a local mom and pop place or a local chain here in Arizona and get some donuts rather than Dunkin. And that's kind of sad, right? Dunkin used to be the spot. And if you're not living in the U.S., you're probably like, I don't really give a shit. And it's understandable. You don't know what a Dunkin is, and I get that. But so, yeah, it's really, really sad. Just another shot there of closure. That's really, really sad. They say here more than half of the closures are in the Speedway convenience stores. So basically, they have Dunkin' Donuts inside convenience stores, and so about half of those are going to be those convenience stores. McDonald's had a similar fate, actually. McDonald's was announcing that they were closing. Oh, actually, no, I have it right here in the next article. Fucking A, no wonder. I was like, I think I saw it somewhere. It's in the next article. McDonald's also 200 stores, which a lot of them are in Walmarts. So, inside Walmart, they have the McDonald's when you walk in. Some have Subway, some have McDonald's. There were some of them locally have the pretzel place. What's the pretzel place? Annie Ann's or Annie's Pretzels or Wetzel Pretzel or something like that. And those are fantastic. I mean, I love those. Those are fucking so good. But, similar fate, right? Similar fate. So, yeah, McDonald's has announced that too. Nearly 95 of their locations, McDonald's restaurants, include a drive-through. So what's happening is they're finding that, of course, during this time, this pandemic, that only the drive-through locations are successful. Well, that makes complete sense because they've shut down the indoor dining. Duh, of course. So the stores where people aren't, there's not a lot of people going out, not as much anyway. they're suffering, and that makes a lot of sense. So it's sad to see, it's sad to see anything kind of closed up like that. So that's not cool. Definitely not cool. Let's hop into some gaming news. Let's talk about some gaming stuff. If I gotta stop talking about this food. I'm getting hungry. It's morning time. I need something to eat. Feed the beast. Halo Infinite will be free to play. However, at the time of writing this, we just got word, I think 2 days ago, or yesterday even, that it's going to be delayed till 2021. It won't be a launch title. What? That's even more big. That's even bigger news than it's going to be free to play. Originally, this was a leak about the Halo Infinite free to play. So check this out. So earlier it was a leak thanks to retailer Smith's Toys. They briefly posted some details about it online. Particular interest is the claim that it will apparently feature a free-to-play multiplayer experience. That was the term they used. That was the quote. So people were like, wait, what? Microsoft hasn't announced this yet, so they kind of threw the pooch on that deal. So Microsoft has now confirmed that leak was accurate. That sucks. They're so pissed. They're pissed. And that Halo Infinite's multiplayer will, in fact, be free to play. Details will follow later. Obviously, no more extra details. But how cool is that going to be? That's going to be so rad. But then shortly after that, I think it was the next day, the bombshell dropped that it's going to be delayed till 2021, which puts it out of the release window for the launch of the Series X, which is going to be this holiday, 2020. What? Think about that. Dude, they're getting so much heat about that. And that's, oh, what the fuck? What stopped working? No, nothing? Okay, great. That's insane. That's insane. Think about that. They just got roasted from the trailer that they that they presented recently, and this just does not bode well for them. It's very unfortunate. What do you think about that? Were you thinking about you wanted Halo Infinite as a launch game? I mean, honestly, I feel like that was so smart to do. It's tough. It's tough for Microsoft because guess what? I'm looking at this personally. I'll tell you what I'm looking at this, and I mentioned this on the last episode. I'm looking at it like this. I, in fact, have no reason to get a Series X at launch. Why? Because Xbox Game Pass. The Game Pass is honestly one of the best deals and features and services in gaming, especially if you're an Xbox fan and or a PC gaming fan. Straight up. It just straight up is. I have no reason to get an Xbox Series X at launch because of that, because all these games, not all, of course, but majority of them are going to be on Game Pass and I can play them on my PC. And I'm sorry, but my PC is more expensive than a Series X. The hardware is far superior than a Series X, as it should be. I paid 3 times what a Series X is going to cost for it. Like, that makes sense. So it's understandable. Just so people like, I know you already said that. Any Xbox fans are like, well, you paid 4 times for your PC. Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm not arguing that. But, in a small form package and a great home console, the Series X is going to be, it's wonderful if that's what you're going to be into. And definitely will pick one up in the future. But there's really no reason for, if you're a PC gamer, there's no reason to have that. Or how about this? Let me rephrase that. If you're a Microsoft Games, and I mean that as the umbrella, and all the studios that they own and all the games that they publish and or produce. If you're a Microsoft fan, okay, and you play on PC, there's no reason to get one. That's what I'll say. That makes more sense, saying it that way. It'd just be a waste of money at this point. Until they offer something else or, I don't know. To be honest, it's crazy. So that got me thinking a lot about that. What do you think about that? What do you think about the Halo Infinite news, though, in conjunction with it not being a launch title on Series X? How does that make you feel? I want to know. You can also call me or email me. How about this? 503-908-5490 is the hotline. Call me and just leave me a voicemail. It goes right to my voicemail. 503-908-5490. I want to know your thoughts on that. Is it a make or break? Did it push you to Sony? Did it push you to a PS5? Are you that mad about it? I want to know. I know diehard Xbox fans, and they've been looking forward to it. And I would be pissed. Honestly, I would be pissed if I was like interested in that as a launch title and then they fucking delayed it. Yeah, it'd be crazy. The Giga Leak continues. as you can imagine. And the Giga Leak was what we reported on a few episodes ago, where another massive batch of Nintendo IP data, game data, files, videos, audio, beta, info, rough draft. Like there is literally whatever they said. I forgot what I said. It was a couple terabytes or 500 gigabytes or something. It was a massive, massive leak of Nintendo property online. And this continues. People are sorting through and shifting through the data, and there's so much stuff. And I have some other stuff here. So as you can imagine, all the stuff that people are going through, but this collection of stuff, people are finding Super Mario 64, Super Mario World assets and data. And it turns out there's also files from Nintendo's original Animal Crossing game. A game developer who goes by the handle TV Online accessed the already leaked files and posted this about finding it on Twitter earlier last week. Among the files, TV found an unused villager called Cat 13. Isn't that cool? Just even that bit of data, even that just info, I think is really, really unique. Just knowing that they named some of the animals like what they were, cat, and then just a number, basic 13. Think about that. So they had cat 1 through however many. Like, I don't know, like I'm geeky. Like I think that's really kind of cool info just to know. It's called Cat 13. Appears to have never made it onto any Animal Crossing game. We don't know much about her yet, just that she looks kind of grumpy. I have a screenshot that I'm going to post here. Here we go. There it is. And they actually went in and put the face on an animal kitty there to make it look like a real villager. So pretty cool stuff. Interesting lips, right? It almost looks like it's not finished, right? Kind of looks not finished. I guess I would need to see some of the other animal droppings characters to compare the face texture, but it doesn't appear to be finished IMO. Very cool stuff. They're still going through the massive amount of data. Massive amounts of data. Hey, Tony Hawk 1 and 2, that's coming out very soon. They're adding 37 new songs to the OST. The developers of the game announced that only 3 of the original songs from the games would be on this remake because of licensing issues, as you can imagine. But this was due to licensing. But Activision will also be adding 37 new tracks announced by this flashy 90s looking banner, which I also have a picture. Boom, here it is. How cool is this? Look at that. It's like a skeleton skating there, all blammo, which is cool. But look at this. Tribe Called Quest up there at the top. A lot of great bands. MXPX. What do we see here? Goldfinger, Papa Roach, Dead Kennedys, Sublime, Zebrahead, Rage Against the Machine, of course. Powerman 5000, just to name a few. Bunch of great bands. Vandals here. Yeah, cool. Very, very cool stuff. Real Big Fish. Yeah, let's get it. Get it. Craig David. What? Oh, no. Craig. Oh, no. What is it? Craig. Oh, I don't know who that is. I thought it was Craig David. I was like, what the fuck? Destroy Boys. Bunch of cool stuff. Billy Talent. So anyway, yeah, check it out. I mean, dude, that game's going to be super awesome. Honestly, I'm really excited to see how they do this because that game is supposed to combine both 1 and 2 into kind of one, for what they say, or something to where you can kind of flip back and forth and it makes sense and they kind of play together. I love that idea. I think it's great. And I actually really like the fact that they did that instead of trying to nickel and dime us and loot box our asses into saying like, well, buy the first one and then we'll buy the second one. You know what I mean? Like they didn't try to screw us over. So I respect that. I really do respect that. I think that's great. Good move on them. You guys know I love Contra. In fact, it's one of my top 5. I'll say that so I won't spoil it. You can go watch my top 20 NES games list on YouTube. I won't spoil it. But Contra is one of my top 5 games on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And so I was really excited when I saw this. Blacklist Games and Kesco will launch a new Contra board game based on Konami's Contra, which celebrates 34 years. Wow. Originally debuted as a coin-op game in the arcades. Contra later came over to the NES in 1988 that year. The year Jason Heine broke his shin playing soccer. And I played this fucking game all summer long. Remember it. Great story. I've told it many times. Contra, the board game, is a co-op game of 1 to 4 players. You will need to work together to defeat the Red Falcon Army. Each game, players will dodge hazards on the board, pick up new weapons, all to help defeat a boss. Players can also play cards to defeat enemies and clear some of the board's most dangerous areas. But Contra, the board game, operates on a timer, and commandos only have so long to defeat the boss. Very, very cool. I have a couple of screenshots. You want to see some of this stuff? Would love to show it to you. I got lots of screenshots today, boys and girls. Look at that. Even the box looks cool in NES, in the shape of a NES cart. Very, very cool stuff right there. Yeah, it looks great. I would love to pick it up. Pre-order starting July 30th. Visit blacklistgamesllc.com for more info. Yeah, buddy. There you go. I actually really think that's going to be fun. Love it. I wish we had another. I wish we had another floor in the house. To be honest, I wish we had. I was going to say I wish we had another table, but I wish we had another floor so we could just move all that stuff up to, the game room, and it would be great to do that and set up because we actually have board games. Steph has a bunch of board games. I have some board games myself. Omega Virus and some Monopolies and some others here and there. And I think it'd be fun just to play them and even set up a camera. I've always wanted to set up a little, if I could do a station, here we go. I got another fucking station. I got stations all over the place. But if I had another one for board games or a big table and just mount a camera overhead, it would be great. A completely square table that was big enough and you could set 4, or even maybe like an octagon type table, and you could set the board game down and then to have the camera overhead and just stream us playing games. But of course, that would mean we'd have to have friends, and kind of losers. We don't have a lot of friends, at least in person. So we're gonna have to just, make it up. Any 2-player games? I think it would be rad though to stream board games. Man, I would love to do that. Wish times were different. We could all get together and do that. It'd be super fun. The company Analog, that company that makes those super high-end FGPA game consoles that play retro games. Well, they did launch the Pocket, and it sold out in 15 minutes. I was talking with the voicemail maniac Cameron about this. In fact, he sent a voicemail over. We'll play it later and talk about it. The Pocket is the company's first intro into handheld gaming, and it boasts some exciting features. A 3.5-inch 665 ppi LCD display made of Gorilla Glass, a 3,400 milliamp battery with an estimated 6-hour playtime, support for Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance games, and a built-in synthesizer. That sounds actually really cool to me. The Analog Pocket will launch for $199, while the optional dock, which lets you play games on your TV via HDMI out, will be $100. Let's take a look at this thing. I actually have some screenshots. You want to see it? Showing you lots of pictures today, boys and girls. It's great. Look at this. Is that not just a beautiful thing? It looks almost just like a Game Boy, early Game Boy kind of. But yeah, super sleek, very sexy, completely square all the way around. Looks nice. It's got, if you're listening to the audio version of this, it's basically just looks like a Game Boy, kind of completely square, more like a rectangle actually. Sorry. Let me go back to kindergarten and check out my shapes. Rectangle has, on the right side, it has 4 buttons, and then it has a proper D-pad. Looks like at the bottom middle, it has a couple of buttons, maybe a home button or start, select. And then the dock is very small, just a small footprint. It's a square dock with a little round cylinder type piece on the top for it to lean up against. Looks really, really nice. So it's $200. Pre-orders went live, sold out in 15 minutes. It's gone. And then it has accessories too. And I posted some screenshots in here so you guys could see all this stuff. Let me zoom in on this. So the accessories, all right, there's the dock, $100. There's the hard case, which you don't necessarily need, but let's just say you want to get that, right? Tempered glass screen protector. Nah, you don't really need that, but I don't know. Are you clumsy? Maybe you do. That's $16. That's the cheapest. Just so, newsflash, that's the cheapest thing that they make right there. All right. Then we go down here. This is the stuff that we need. So I guess my question, I'm kind of confused. I'm kind of confused on this thing. What does it play out of the box? I should go to their website and actually read about that so that I know. Because I look down here and you have to buy. Oh, okay. It's actually telling me. So it plays out of the box. It plays Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games. All right, that makes sense. Okay. Well, if you want it to play Game Gear or Neo Geo Pocket Color or Atari Lynx, which I think is amazing, by the way. How cool is that? That they make these adapters so you can play these games. Think about this. You can now play your Lynx. Just let's put this signal flow into play. You can plug this pocket into the dock and then plug this Atari Lynx adapter into your pocket, plug in your Lynx game into the adapter, and then play your Atari Lynx via Bluetooth wireless controller, like an 8-bit do or something like that. Or I think USB. The dock has a USB port on it, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I don't see one, but I think I saw that. And you can play your Atari Lynx via HDMI on your big TV for the very first time. Now, how much is that worth to you? Is it worth like $5? Because that's about what it's going to cost to deck this thing completely out. Now, you don't have to buy all the adapters. You can just buy one, but we're only saving, what, $60? So we're still going to drop a serious $4. And if you want some cables, Pocket Link cable, it has some MIDI cables, has some USB cables and things like that. They're like $16 a pop. So really, at the end of the day, and now this is no surprise. Their NES that they make is $500. It's $499.99. So like this is right up in there too. And they make amazing stuff, mind you. I know we're talking about the price because this is like one of the most expensive pieces of hardware in this market, in this segment that you can buy. I'm not sure how much the Poly Mega is. I think the Poly Mega is similar, but I don't have those details in front of me. But the Poly Mega, another amazing project. I remember us talking with them 3-4 years ago for Game on Expo. They were going to come out. In fact, they were going to come out, and I made a flyer to promote them on our social media, and they were like, no, take it down. We're not ready to announce yet. That was a long time ago. But they also, Poly Mega allows you to buy adapters and plug into this thing to do cartridge or CD-based gaming, Sega CD or Jag CD, whatever it is, PS1, PS2, I think. But yeah, cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. And I think, I think that is so cool. And I like where this is going. That's a hefty price to throw down, isn't it? Yeah, I almost was kind of interested in getting something like that. Was kind of interested in that, but yeah, I wasn't quick enough to get one. But then again, I wasn't even done thinking, should I buy one? Nah, I don't have the money for that right now, so I wasn't even going to. But I would consider it maybe down the road. Maybe get one used or something. I don't know, secondhand. I don't know. Will they be available secondhand? Probably, but they'll be probably just as expensive. I feel like with limited stuff there. Nintendo. Oh, this is some cool stuff in Nintendo news. Nintendo trademarks, quote, Mario Sports. They trademark that. So they have people kind of freaking out, getting excited. A new Nintendo trademark has surfaced online and is possibly leaked to the next big Nintendo Switch or Nintendo Switch Lite game. More specifically, Nintendo applied for a new trademark, both Europe and Australia, for Mario Sports. Unfortunately, the trademark doesn't divulge anything noteworthy, of course. It's just a trademark. We've seen this before. We've seen them actually file for patents for different pieces of hardware, controllers, stylus, a bunch of other things. I will say on the patents, though, usually whatever they patent does end up coming out. Like the NES controllers, the wireless Super Nintendo controllers, all those things that were like leaked, they became real. So this is kind of exciting. Why would they file for a trademark of that? Why would they? Unless they want to make it a game. I think that's really cool. We don't know for sure, not official, but they did file for it. Nintendo released a new Mario Tennis on Switch, but many are waiting for the return of Mario Golf, Super Sluggers, which was their baseball, Strikers, which was their soccer, and then some other Mario sports games and spin-offs. However, it looks like Nintendo may be more interested in releasing the sports games as one large collection, maybe, rather than a fleshed out individual game type. I don't know. It's speculation. We don't know. All we know for sure is that Nintendo trademarked Mario Sports. Note, plural, sports. It's kind of exciting, to be honest. Kind of exciting. Yeah, cool stuff. That was some gaming news. I actually have my one bit of tech news to talk about, and then from there we will jump into voicemails, and then from there we'll jump into the scam stuff and do a little education 101. Very cool. So tech news. Mac OS 8. Yeah, you heard me right. OS 8 is now an app you can run on your Windows or Apple computer. Developer Felix Reisenberg has transformed Mac OS 8 into an app that you can install on your Mac or PC. After transforming Windows 95 into an app back in 2018, Reisenberg decided to turn the entire 1991 Macintosh Quadra with Mac OS 8.1 into a single app. It even includes a number of apps and games, thanks to the old Macworld demo CD from 1997. The app can be installed on Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. This is so cool. In fact, I find this really cool because we had a Mac. We had a Macintosh Performa 450 back in, I think it was 91. It had to have been 91 or 92. We did our reports on Clarice Works. I remember doing all kinds of things. It had a little microphone on the side. Like, in fact, folks, I still have it. Of course I do. I never get rid of anything. It's in the garage. I still have it. And I just remember that the monitor had a little issue with like the power, the cable would kink and be kind of weird. And it would cut out sometimes. But other than that, the thing worked great. I wonder if it would still boot. Gosh, it's been in there for I've had it for, I guess 25 years in there. So maybe I should pull it out and do a video, see if it will boot. But I do still have it. Very, very cool. So this is really exciting to me to see this stuff. It's like reliving memory lane here. It's an app written entirely in JavaScript, and it used a virtual machine to emulate the Macintosh Quadra 900 with the Motorola CPU. This is the one that Apple used before its transition into IBM PowerPC chips back then. Reisenberg has managed to get classic games like Duke Nukem 3D, Civilization 2, and Dungeons and Dragons to run. There's even a bunch of apps and trials pre-installed in this, including Photoshop 3, Premiere 4, Illustrator 5.5, Stuff It Expander, remember that? And Apple's web page construction kit, which people actually really, really loved and made really cool websites. Like one of the first ever programs that allowed you to make websites. And people made great websites and in fact used them for many, many years with this program. I remember reading stories about that. Very, very cool. I cannot wait to try them out. I went and downloaded them all, and I cannot wait to try them out. I really want to try the Windows 95 as well. I think that'll be a total trip. Go to GitHub and search for the developer's name. That's how you're going to find it easily. The link was too long, so I just searched Felix, Felix, and then Reisenberg, Riesenberg, Reisenberg. And so you should be able to find that stuff there. How about that? Super awesome stuff. That's all I have for tech news because I knew I was going to spend a lot of time talking and showing this scam message that I'm getting. And we're going to talk about it. It's going to be really, really great. We'll do that after the voicemails come through. I think I have several. Let me go back here and take a look to see exactly what I have here. Okay, looks like we have 3 voicemails and one is a 2-parter from the voicemail maniac himself, Mr. Cameron. We'll get to yours second there. Let's see. Let me play this first one here. It appears to be a story. And I like stories. Always love stories. Hold on, let me do this. Let me get rid of my mirroring because I don't think it's coming through as well as it should. Stop mirroring. Here we go. Start over. We're doing it live, folks. Fuck it. We're doing it live.
Hey, Jason.
Here we go.
This is Ryan. I called your show back on episode 40. I kind of sparked the conversation of the ever-growing backlog.
Oh, Ryan, thank you for that.
And needless to say, I've actually finished quite a few games off of my backlog.
Good.
And I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Been getting a little bit smaller, so which is good.
Yeah, man.
I just listened to your most recent podcast, and you wanted people to share their freeway stories.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I got a freeway story here for you. Oh,
good.
I was driving, this was several years ago, I was driving with my dad towards Milwaukee to go visit my uncle here in Oregon. And
I know right where that's
spot
at.
on 99E where you kind of cross over the Willamette. And this kind of area is notorious for people just like pulling out in front of other people.
I'm going to just pause it right there. Ryan, you know I'm from there, right? I'm from there. I absolutely know exactly that bridge you're talking about. It's a fucking clusterfuck. Absolutely agreed. It's chaos. It's chaos. And it's always backed up. Yeah, dude, I live right across the river there in Clackamas, born and raised. All right, let's go.
You're going about 40, 45, and people coming in from your right are at a dead stop. So anyway, we're driving, and I'm following this truck, and it's just packed with all kinds of junk, all kinds of stuff.
Just going to pause again. Why is it always a truck full of shit? That's exactly it, right? That's exactly it. When you, folks, hey, PSA real quick. When you're on the freeway or anywhere for that matter, and you're behind a truck that is stacked full of shit, just get out of its way. That's the takeaway. If there's a truck full of shit, I don't care if you need to slow down and let it go way ahead of you. Like, just get away from it because, dude, they're always dropping shit. They never, what do they say? Secure your load. All right, Ryan, I'm sorry.
Like they were getting rid of something, like they were going to the dump or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway.
Dump is over there, by the way. Yeah.
I got some good distance between the truck in front of me. And
Smart.
Smart. I'm approaching this intersection, and this guy pulls out in front of me. And I have to, like, slam on my brakes to avoid, hitting him.
Let's cut you off, yeah.
And so just a little bit further down the road, this truck that I was originally behind hits a bump in the road, and this wheelchair that he had in the back of his truck goes flying out of the back and lands in the middle of the highway, and the guy that just previously cut me off like 10 seconds before slams into this wheelchair in the middle of the road.
Yes.
I just thought, I was like, that's karma right there.
Yeah, man.
I thought that,
that is.
You finally, get a little bit of justice, after someone cuts you off like that. But,
seriously, man. Karma's
anyway,
a bitch.
So thanks for letting me share my story, and really love your show.
Thank you.
And I will catch up with you later.
Ryan, you're the man. Appreciate the call. That's hilarious. Those are the kind of stories I want to hear. Now, look, I don't want you to get the wrong impression. I don't ever wish, pain or injury or anything on anyone. Like, come on, you guys know me. But like, seriously though, karma's a bitch. Dude, I drive 2 hours every day, 100 miles a day to and from work. I do that every day. I see all kinds of shit like that on the road. And you know what? If people drive like dickheads, then sometimes, hey man, karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. You don't act like you've never been on the road and someone is driving like a fucking maniac. If you're a patron and you tune into my car vlog videos, I have the camera on my dash rolling the whole time, and I'm driving on the freeway the whole time. And you'll see me actually often. I'll like stop and I'll be like, Jesus, look at this guy. He's like you see him cutting and speeding, and I'm usually like doing something. I'll do evasive maneuvers sometimes. Like, it's happening on camera. So if you're a patron and you watch the car vlogs, you already know this. But like, dude, karma's the bitch, and I just think that is hilarious. So what I was gonna say is, don't act like you haven't been on the freeway driving, and someone is driving like a complete asshole, and you've said to yourself, you know what? You said this. You said one or two things. I've said both these. I've gone, where's the cop? Where's a cop when you need one? That's what I always say. Where the fuck is a cop when you need one, right? They're not around. He's driving like a maniac. Or I've just been like, you know what? He's out here endangering people's lives, driving like an idiot. Like, I just hope he gets a flat tire. I know you've said that. I know I have too. I just, I hope you get a flat tire, buddy. You slow the hell down. Slow the hell down. Ryan, I appreciate that. Yeah, dude, I'm from there, right? You may not, I don't know if you know or not. I live right across that bridge, man. Love it. Love it. That's so cool you're from there too. Good old Milwaukee. Good times. It's good to hear from you. I appreciate that. Hey, let's continue it. If you got any other road stories, I love it. And we used to we heard from that trucker couple a long time ago. I don't know if they still listen to the show, but they're on the road and they love they listen to the podcast. They love to tune in when I do streams, doing my American Truck Sim and stuff like that. It was really, really cool. I would love to hear from them again. So I appreciate that, Ryan. All right, we got looks like we got Cameron here, the voicemail maniac, and he's got a two-parter. So let's play them both. We'll play them back to back, and then we'll see. So we don't miss anything here. Again, I appreciate the call there, Cameron. Thank you. Always good to hear from you.
What's up, Jason? Maniac of voicemails, Cameron here. This is a momentous occasion for me because I actually have something based on current, retro current gaming to talk about other than my usual, what is your favorite hamburger?
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of
anyway, here. I'm not sure. You probably are. There's a company called Analog. They make, FPGA based, like Genesis consoles, Nintendo, Super Nintendo with, extra features. I'm very much not into sort of the tech stuff, and I didn't really understand, why somebody would rebuy an FPGA, version of a Nintendo when you could just, do the original one. Anyway, they came out with this new product called the Pocket. I can't even get this right, but I think it's the Pocket. Basically, it's a Game Boy Game Boy Advanced and Color all in one, and you can purchase additional adapters for the Lynx Game Gear. But I'm really excited because there aren't too many options for Game Gear.
No, there's not.
I have a Game Gear with a McWillis screen, and of course it has new capacitors, which is about the best you can do now.
Well, that's good.
But this is supposed to be pretty awesome. Has a lot of stuff I just do not understand about it. All the FPGA, I guess it kind of mimics the real console or system. Maybe you know more about this than I do, but was just curious of your opinion on this. It goes up for pre-order tomorrow, and it's $200. Kind of expensive, but I think it'd be kind of worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And you can get a dock to hook up to your TV, which is also really cool with HDMI. So would love to hear your thoughts, your opinions. It kind of checks those boxes for me, original Game Boy and Game Gear.
Yeah, man.
So
I agree.
That's really cool. And apparently the Game Boy SP 101s have been going for a lot more money. I didn't realize that. Ever since COVID hit, people were wanting to get back into that stuff too, which makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm glad I got mine when I did at a thrift store. So got super lucky with that.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You win some, you lose some.
Sure
anyway,
do.
Hope you guys are having a great week. Love to hear your thoughts, and we'll talk again real soon.
Yeah, Cameron, absolutely. And, you heard me earlier talk about it. Yeah, I think it's a big win. I think that's a big win there for the Pocket. Of course, yeah, it's sold out. So, but let's see what your second email says, and then we'll discuss. We'll discuss that. I honestly, I feel like I have a Retron 5 and it doesn't play Game Gear or Lynx or Neo Geo Pocket Color. It doesn't play any of those. It plays a lot, but not those. It plays Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. So I actually, this is the only way you can really get to play it. So I'm kind of down for it, man, to be honest, the more I think about it.
Mr. Heine, it is the Voicemail Maniac with a follow-up to my last somewhat positive voicemail regarding the Analog Pocket. So pre-orders went up this morning. I was at work. I kind of snuck and got on the website right at 10. I guess I forgot what time it was. I think 8 Pacific Standard Time. So it was around 10 o'clock here, Central Standard Time. So anyway, I was there right at 10. Bam, got what I wanted. It's got the pocket, accessories.
Oh, awesome.
Game Boy adapter, screen protector in the cart. Got my name information entered in there.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Went to checkout, and it got stuck on the shipping calculation, thing. And then, of course, by the time it finished doing that, it was a few minutes. They had everything sold out, like literally everything. So,
oh my God,
probably
dude.
within the first 5 minutes, maybe.
Oh shit! I thought it was like 15.
Maybe first 10 minutes. I don't know. But
oh my God,
I got stuck in that whole shipping thing. So,
dude,
I was sort of under the impression that this would be kind of like a pre-order situation that's sort of like rolling in the sense that, you pre-order it and then they're going to manufacture everything based on the pre-orders.
That would
Apparently
make sense.
They just had a certain number, allocated for pre-orders, and they all sold out within 10 minutes, if not 5 minutes.
Dude.
This is probably my first experience with this sort of limited edition kind of boutique item. And it's a little frustrating. I'm sure a lot of people have dealt with this a lot more than me with like limited run games, that kind of thing, which I don't really fool with. Yeah, it was frustrating. I'm on the sort of wait list to when the next ones come out, but it's no big deal though. I'll save money, not getting it. And if I get it, I get it. So I kind of have that attitude.
Yeah.
Other than it is kind of frustrating.
Gotta keep me
like the only product I could see myself, wanting in this sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, because it's Game Gear, and you love the Game Gear, dude. I think that makes sense.
There's my update for you. Maybe you'll catch this for the podcast where I had a positive, excited voicemail about the Pocket. So anyway, we'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you, man. I mean, absolutely, no doubt. I feel like, man, the more I think about this, honestly, the more I'm kind of getting hyped for it. I think it, and for you who love Game Gear, and there's really no way to play Game Gear on a big TV unless you're going to do emulation. I think this actually makes the most sense, to be honest. Yeah, it's steep, but you know what? You're paying for the quality, right? You're paying for all that. And I don't have a problem paying for quality, to be honest. Really don't. Yeah, man, that's crazy. And it sucks that happened. Sorry to hear that, Cameron. Keep me posted, man. I did actually see, it's funny, since you sent that, I follow them on Twitter, the company Analog, and they made a post on Twitter, like maybe a few days later. People are still not, they're like reeling from this fact that they couldn't get the Pocket. And they posted, hey, we have some more of the NESs. I forget what they're called. I forget what they're called, but the $500 ones, the really, really high end ones. And they're like, we found some more, something like that, or whatever they said. And those sold out in like the first 5 minutes. Again, whatever pre-orders. It doesn't make sense actually that they would open pre-orders for a certain amount. Like, wouldn't that make sense to manufacture the demand? But maybe they have some sort of weird situation where they can only manufacture a certain amount. That would be the only thing that kind of makes sense to me. Like, we can only manufacture 1,000 of them, right? So they're like, pre-orders for 1,000, end it there. That makes sense. Why would you be able to take on bite off more than you can chew? And I would understand that from, a business perspective, but still, bro, first of all, if people are wanting your stuff and they're wanting to pre-order it, you better shift your ass in gear and get that stuff made. I don't ever want to deny anyone from getting stuff if they want it. You know what I mean? So that is, that's crazy stuff right there. All right, we're going to take one more voicemail. This is great. I appreciate you guys all calling. 503-908-5490 if you want to talk to me and the community about stuff here. Let's jump right back into the phone calls. Got one more for you, and then we're going to move on to some tech stuff. Let's do it. I need a faster iPad. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey, Jason. Percy Havoc here.
Percy, my man.
This isn't so much a question as just a little story and thank you. Although you can feel free to discuss the topic as well. So having a few months off from work due to the lockdown and then going back was difficult for me. And it really confirmed for me that I needed to find a new day job.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's a certain field I was interested in getting into, so I set up a job alert online for it during quarantine, and an interesting listing popped up a little over a month ago, so I applied. And the more I thought about it, I realized that there were a lot of creative ideas I could bring to this particular job, and I remembered something you said about selling yourself. You did that in the past and had good results.
Goosebumps.
So, keeping that in mind, that's exactly what I did.
Oh, dude.
I sent a follow-up talking about my ideas, got an interview, and I sold myself. And lo and behold, I got the job.
You fucking
now,
badass.
It's only part-time, so I still have to work at my existing job, but there's a chance that this could open up the door to bigger and better things down the road.
Yes.
Normally, I
Yes.
try to stay humble,
No.
but there's a time to talk yourself up, and if I hadn't remembered what you said, I might not have had that spark to do it. So thanks. Take care.
Dude, you can't see him. Look at the hair on my arm, standing straight the fuck up. That, Percy, fucking round of applause for you. I didn't do that. You did that. First of all, you sold yourself. You did that. I appreciate you calling and letting me know that. And I just want to say congratulations on the position. And I feel like no matter what you put your mind to, you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to spark creativity and bring a lot of value to that position in that company. That's the thing that is instilled. That's the thing that is in all of us. It's there. We just have to reach in and grab it and do it. And I'm very thankful that you thought of me in that light and were able to do that, man. But I appreciate you telling me, but sir, you did that on your own. Congratulations. That is so fantastic, man. That makes me feel, honestly, that makes me feel like $1 million. So, so great. You fucking badass. You sold yourself. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. This is going to be exciting. I'm actually going to chop up this video off the podcast here and make it a separate YouTube video and upload it separately because I think it's really, really important. And I think this segment needs to be shown outside of just the podcast. So a lot of scamming and a lot of stuff is going on online like this. Now, this isn't something that's brand new, but it's definitely becoming more and more popular. So I want to bring attention to it. I was basically, okay, so here's the backstory. So I'm currently getting anywhere between like 10 to 15 friend requests a day on Facebook. Now, I would say almost 99% of those are fake, either fake accounts, spam accounts, or phishing accounts that are trying to collect data from me to then, basically get my data and then hack me and then get all my data and just screw me over. This has been going on since the birth of the internet. But what's happening now is the tactic is not changed, but it's evolving. So normally what would happen is you'd be on the internet. This is one that's been around forever. You'd be online, spyware, whatever gets on your system. You get a pop-up. You accidentally click on the pop-up, takes you to a site. You're clicking links. You're downloading attachments. You're running programs that you don't or shouldn't be running. You have an issue. Then stuff gets installed on your system. You get a pop-up. It says to call Microsoft or call tech support or call whatever. And you call this number and it sends you over, and you typically will then talk to somebody that is trying to just scam you out of your data, and they'll transfer money out of your bank account to theirs. And it's this big thing. Go look it up on YouTube. There's a lot of great channels that talk about this and show this. I'm not showing that today. What I'm showing today is somebody trying to do this on Facebook Messenger. And I'm going to go ahead and pop open the iPad so that we can go into my mirroring here. And I'll pull it up so that we can look at this together. And we'll go through the whole conversation. I think it's really great to see. Let me scroll up to the top. All right. So what we have here is, and I'll zoom it in so that crop out anything else here. But so here's what we have, the conversation on the right. This is how it started. This was this week, Tuesday. 2 days ago. Okay, this is 2 days ago. So got a message from Joinal Abedin. I mean, they're even trying to create American sounding names that aren't even, I mean, doesn't even sound like someone from, I don't know, maybe it is, who knows? Anyway, they're from St. Louis, Missouri, it says, right? Instantly know this is fake. I just instantly know. Here's the problem. The problem is, and let's just discuss this open discussion. First of all, the picture is probably a real person, probably somebody's account. It's a real person that lives somewhere in this world. Unfortunately, she got her picture stolen, but anything that's online is there for the taking for people who are phishing and trying to scam people. Probably a real person, definitely a fake name, definitely a fake location. With that in mind, let's get going. Let's see. I actually kind of find this interesting. I find this interesting enough to actually engage in a conversation because I'm trying to learn. I want to see what they say and what they're after. I want to see what links they send me. I want to see what the situation is. What data are they trying to get from me? Are they trying to get my cell phone? Are they trying to get my address? Are they trying to get names of people? Are they trying to get my location? Like, what are they trying to get? And I want to see it. So this is great. And this is crazy, folks, because in the last 24 hours, how many times has this happened to me? 3. This has actually happened 3 times. So I have more to show, and maybe we will later on. But okay, here we go. So here comes the message. I'm going to read it out. You can see it on your screen. Scammer says, "Hey, how are you?" I say, "I'm doing great. How are you tonight?" Scammer says, "Sorry for my friend request. I just want to be friends with you because you look nice in photos. They do not bother to make new friends." I say, "I love to bother to make new friends. Thank you." They say, "Good. I'm very happy to meet you. My name is Jessica. I live in Missouri. And where are you from?" Jessica, is it? It's not Joinal, I guess. Okay, that must be an abbreviated. That must be a nickname. That's probably the nickname that her college friends gave her. Joinal. Okay. It's understandable. I get that. So, from Missouri, I reply, "Oh, really? That is crazy. I used to live in Missouri. Whereabouts are you from?" At this point, folks, I instantly pull up another tab and I go to Wikipedia and I type in Missouri. They reply, "It's great. I'm a pizza. And you? What do you do in your life?" It's very clear, folks, that English is probably not their first language. This is a sure sign indication that you're probably being scammed. You just got to be really, really careful here. All right, be very, very careful here. Anyone that says that they're great and that they're a pizza, kind of interesting to hear. Again, I asked where they're from exactly in Missouri because remember, I used to live there. Spoiler alert, I've driven through Missouri, never lived there. But I was armed with Wikipedia, which taught me everything I needed to know about Missouri, like that. I respond, wait. I'd love to discuss Missouri some more. I think that is so cool. We are both from the same place. What do you do for fun there? Do you go downtown to the Cannabis Cove? I say this because I was reading that they legalized marijuana recently, and so I've just made up some fake name and made up some fake place downtown. I don't know. It could exist. I said, "I'd love to dance there on the weekends when I lived there." They reply, "Good. What do you do in your free time?" Didn't answer my question. Folks, what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to waste their time. I'm trying to if I can waste their time and take them away from the time they spent with me from scamming somebody else, I feel like I'm doing a service. Now, it's not going to stop anything. It's not going to stop them from continuing. But if I can take their time away, even if it's an hour, I feel good. And that's about the length of this duration. That's how long it took. My plan was to try to ask them questions and get them distracted. All right, they ask, "What do you do in your free time?" I reply, "Well, I do lots of things, actually. Have you ever heard of Dancing Bear? I perform Dancing Bear on the weekends. It really pays the bills for me here. Have you heard of Dancing Bear?" Now, I was getting a little crazy. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Dancing Bear before, but you guys know it's that porno where the dude comes in. He's basically dancing for like bachelorette parties, and he's got this big bear head on. He's in there dancing, Okay, some of you might know what that is. I said Dancing Bear. And I mentioned that it pays the bills for me. I say that specifically to try to get them on the hook. All right, that was my fishing reel going out, thinking, "Oh, bills, paying the bills. Oh, you're doing something for work. You have money. Trying to get them to be like, okay, I will invest more energy into this person because they talked about they have a job with money. That was my thinking. I don't know if it worked or not. We'll see. Let's continue on. They reply, yes. Oh, great. So they've heard of Dancing Bear. That's fantastic. They reply, me, I love the exits between friends, go to the beach, resto, cinema, and sometimes sex. Do you like sex? Wow. I mean, there's a lot going on in there. I mean, they love the exits between friends. And they love to go to the beach resto. Cinema. Beach resto cinema. Maybe they're talking about the beach cinema's restroom. Maybe they're actually, now I'm deciphering this. Maybe they're trying to say that they like to have sex in the cinema's bathrooms that's located at the beach. I don't know. Either way, they ask me if I like sex. I reply, oh, wow. You are very forward, aren't you? Well, I do love sex. I'm single now, though, so not much sex, except with my Christmas candle. It's like a fleshlight, but that's another story. I would love to continue this conversation. Can you hold on for 1 hour? I have to do some Dancing Bear. I'll be right back, cutie, is what I reply. I say this because actually I just got done with my lunch break while texting, and I have to go back to work. And for the next hour while I was at work, I had to do something that I could not be on my personal device. They reply, I'm alone right now, and I just took my bath, and I'm in my room. Do you want to join me? 3 question marks. I reply, oh, yes. Oh, yes. Can I please? Are you sending me a plane ticket to fly to Missouri? They reply, I'll show you my tits and my pussy on the video and excite me with your beautiful cock, and I'll show you more, okay? Oh boy, this is escalating very quickly. I reply, oh wow, this is moving kind of fast. I may need to get undressed for this. I've never done this before. I'm kind of excited though, I reply. So we're basically engaging in sexting at this point. They reply, give me your number. Bingo, there it is. Give me your number if you don't mind. And after the cam, I'll send you a naked video of me. Ooh la la, a naked video, huh? So there is number 1. They're trying to get my phone number, which is not good. Don't ever give your number. Don't give any data. In fact, let me just quickly say this before I continue on. I should have mentioned this at the beginning of the show. Don't do this. Don't do this, what I'm doing. Just block them, report them, and move on. Don't do this. I'm doing this out of educational purposes. All right. And I knew when this started to happen and this conversation happened, I knew I was going to show this to everyone. So I wanted to continue this. So, but again, please don't do this. It's not smart to do. Because on a phone or a tablet, you can accidentally click a link. You can accidentally click something. It's just way too dangerous. Just do not do it. I please don't do it. Okay, here we go. They want my number. Give me your number if you don't mind. I respond, I'd really like to just keep everything here on Facebook and just as simple. It's just as simple to send video and pictures here on Facebook. I say, I'm getting undressed now, baby. I say this because I'm not going to give them my number. And I'm trying to force them to go a different route. Sending me video and pictures, whatever. Even if they're just nude photos from Google that they put in there and post, whatever, right? Not a big deal. I'm not giving my number. I'm going to see what other angle they're going to try. No pun intended. See what other angle they're going to try to work here. Then they say, you're alone right now. I say, I am. Curious to see what's going to happen next. They say, call me now. I say, I thought we were doing pictures and videos only. I don't see any. Then, oh, I better not do any of that there. See, pull up an emoji. You don't want to emoji that. Then they say, missed call. Then they call me. They call me. They actually call me, video chat. And at this point, I'm really confused. I'm thinking, so I decline it. I say, sorry, my Wi-Fi isn't very good. It won't let me take the call. I have very slow internet. I can only text. Again, trying to force them into really delivering what it is they're after from me. What is it? My banking details, a link to go look at her cam. What is it? They call 2 more times, back to back. See the timestamps, back to back. I decline them both times. I say, I can't accept them. I'm sorry. My internet is slow. Then they say, okay, bye. I say, have a good day. I hope to chat with you again sometime. They say, okay. I say, I'd like to talk more about Missouri too sometime. Missouri. Later on that day, as you can see, 9:11 in the morning, I get home from work right around this time. I go to my computer and I fire up my recording. I fire up OBS because I want to try to capture and record what's going to happen next here from the call to see what this is really about. I fire it up. I hit record. I send a message over and say, hey, okay, hot stuff. I'm home with good internet now. I am ready for bath time, in hopes that they'll read it and call me and see what this is really about. As you can see at the bottom right, they actually haven't even seen the message yet. So this is very fascinating. I'm actually partly confused as to why they would video call me. Now, unless they're trying to catch me in some sort of crossfire of, sexual like video chat or something like that, or put my face onto some sort of bribery. Like, I don't know what or why that they would even do this. That's why I tried to get a hold of them again. Now, of course, they either blocked me or they're going to just move on. They've wasted enough time. But in the end, I wasted an hour's worth of this person's time. And that makes me feel really, really good. So, folks, nobody in their right mind is going to send you a message out of the blue like this and just want to, well, I guess I can't really say that for sure now, can I? I can't really definitely say. But usually, people who are sane don't just randomly message people, say that they look good, and want to have fucking sexting happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah, very, very tricky. So that is what I wanted to show you on this. So be very vigilant, be very careful about how you approach these types of situations. You shouldn't really do this. But for me, I know what I'm looking at. And I actually had a few more, like I just had this one too, which maybe I'll talk another time. This person came through and was just basically someone named Cow, basically just calling me names, calling me a cow. And I kind of de-escalated the situation. By the end, they were just like, okay, cool. See you later. Have a nice one. Like it could have been really bad, but a lot of really random stuff has been happening with me online. And I had another one I had earlier. Actually, it was last night. Was somebody was trying to become my stream manager and trying to sell me view bots on Twitch, which is against Twitch's terms of service, of course, and is completely the most wrong thing to do ever in your life. And I have a huge message of that too. I wasted that person's time as well. Real person, by the way. They actually operate on Fiverr along with probably millions of other people who are trying to do this. But we'll talk about that another time. We'll show that another time. So thank you so much for listening to that segment. I hope you got something out of it. And with that, folks, I think we're going to wrap it up. Wrap the show up. This has been great. Thank you so much for hanging out. It's been great to see you again. HeineHouse.com is the website. Make sure to check that out. And if you are in the car, you got your Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Make sure to play the podcast in the car, maybe on your drive, or you're on the train going to work. Pop it on there. If you've got a smart device at your house, ask it to play Heine House Gaming and Tech Podcast. It definitely will. It's really, really cool. Love that. So if you want to blast me through the house, really great stuff right there. And other than that, we're going to thank our patrons one last time as we wrap it up and say goodbye. Thank you, everyone. Ground floor, main floor, Game Loft, Brandon, George, Aaron, Luke, and Justin. Thank you. Much love to you all. I appreciate everyone for your support. The show is funded completely by your support on Patreon. And hit me up if you guys like seeing some of the scam stuff. I know it's definitely a departure from anything that I do, but I think it fits perfectly into tech. And also we talk about phishing and scam and people trying to swindle each other out of money. And I think it's smart to bring it up and show you like, hey, this shit is going on and you got to be careful. And here's what it looks like. I think it's a win-win. You get education, you get to see it and don't have to deal with it. And I get to waste their time. And I'm happy with that. I feel great with that. All right. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everything. We'll see you next week. All right. Good night.